Now, if you are a follower or a subscriber to either my Instagram or my YouTube since the start of this year, you've seen a lot of different monitors and setup variations throughout my posts and videos. And recently I've been in touch with LG Electronics, and they were kind enough to send me their LG dualup 28MQ780 display for testing and reviewing on the channel. So this is the final video. Let's check it out. Now, full disclosure, LG only sent out this unit for me to test and review. No money was exchanged. I'm not keeping the display afterwards, but this will not affect the review at all, and all opinions are my own. The LG dualup 28MQ780 is a stacked vertical monitor with a nano IPS display that features a resolution of 2560 by 2880, which basically means it is the vertical equivalent of an ultra-wide display that would feature two monitors horizontally. Instead of the traditional 16:9 aspect ratio, this features a 16:18 aspect ratio, HDR10 and DCI-P3. Besides the display and pretty thin bezels, you will only find a little knob on the bottom bezel to power on and power off, but also navigate throughout the menu and do all your settings. On the back side of the display you will find the power supply, 2 HDMI 2.0, a DisplayPort 1.4, 3 USB 3.0, a headphone jack, and a USB-C port that also features power delivery for you to connect any device you wish to use. Since it does feature multiple ports to connect your devices, you can also split the display vertically. That means you would have two different devices on top of each other, which is a really nice, great feature that I totally underestimated in the beginning. Also in the box included is a mounting arm, and as with LG mounting arms, they're just awesome. You can swivel, you can rotate, and you can adjust the distance from you to the display. It's very neat, it's very handy, and the build quality is just awesome. Now, when I first saw the display after its release, I was really torn because I never had used a vertical display or a regular display in a vertical orientation, so it was really hard for me to really understand what I would use it for. But it really grew on me, and rather quickly, to be honest. I saw it everywhere on Instagram, on YouTube, and I kinda liked it. And I was actually thinking of buying one for me to support my streaming, but also my work tasks. And I used this display on its own. I used it in a dual monitor setup. I used it as the main display, as the secondary display. And to be honest, it works in any situation. You can use it comfortably on its own. You can use it as a secondary display on a dual monitor or multi-monitor setup. And you can use it as a primary in your multi-monitor setup. It's so convenient, it's so universal usable that you can't go wrong with any of your use cases that you have. The nano IPS display looks great, and the 2560 by 2880 resolution is just amazing for a productivity task. You can stack two windows on top of each other and you don't lose any resolution or any size of your windows at all. Reading text is effortlessly, it does not fatigue your eyes at all. Now, my main use case for my displays is my work. I do work from home and I mostly have multiple windows open up at any time, whether it's Salesforce, it's my email, it's LinkedIn to get infos about customers and prospects, or to write emails or prepare documents or other stuff. And especially the factor that I have two 14:14 displays on top of each other makes cross-referencing documents, writing emails while still having a LinkedIn profile open or whatever it might be. My secondary use case is creative work, and whether that is photo editing, video recording, audio recording, or editing at all. This makes it super easy to have my audio recording software and my video editing software on top of each other, so I never lose track where I'm at in the recording, in the editing, or what footage I need to cover. And even when I'm photo editing, whether it's in full window or in split window, it's super easy. The display is so sharp, the colors are so accurate, and it's just, I love to use the display for any creative work because it's so good to look at and the colors are very precise. Now, two features of the display that sometimes get overlooked in a display are live color low blue light that protects your eyes from getting too much blue light and kind of exhausts your eyes throughout a long workday or editing session, and the ambient light sensor that automatically adjusts the brightness of the display so you can comfortably work long hours, long tasks at your display. At this point of me using the display, I actually cannot get rid of the display and I will be very sad when I have to send it back, but this is a great one. I love to use the vertical aspect ratio of the display, and I can totally see myself using 2 or 3 of these at once. It's so convenient, it's so handy. The only thing I wish, maybe a higher resolution, but this is a grief that I have with almost every display, is the ports on the back. And this is not really like a negative aspect of this display, but probably every display out there. I'm a USB-C person, all my gadgets, all my accessories are USB-C, and still most displays feature USB-A. It's inconvenient, it's not like a bad thing, I can still use adapters or whatever, but I wish there was a display generation moving forward with only USB-C. I don't know if there are technical limitations or USB-A is more easy to implement with the display, but I just have it on my wish list, USB-C ports as the only ports on the back. Whether I use the display on its own or in a dual monitor setup, it highly increased my productivity, it increased my workflow, and it was just super nice to use because I could do so many different things with it. I love how it helped me with my professional tasks during the day, but also my creative workflow during the night, and it makes it easy to use because it has so many features that are actually making your life easier and your tasks easier to go through. Whether that might be the vertical split functionality for 2 devices, the resolution or the color accuracy and resolution itself for working creative stuff. I mentioned it in the beginning, I've always been a huge fan of LG and I've used multiple of their monitors, whether it's 38 ultrawides, 49-inch ultrawides, 4K displays, and this one just goes right into the lineup of my favorite displays. It's super easy to use, super convenient to use. Even though it's a vertical display, there's no issues of adapting to the way it works. It just helps you stay productive, it helps you stay on top of your game, and I really enjoy it. I'm very sad I have to send it back, but thank you LG Electronics again for sponsoring this video and providing me the opportunity to review this display. And if you enjoyed the video and it was helpful to you, make sure to comment down below the most important feature for you in a display, what you like about the dualup, and what you want to see in displays in the future. Thank you again for watching, make sure to check out all my socials, hit the subscribe button for more content in the future, and I will cue the music. Bye.